Is John Redwood, just getting his microphone on there, of course Conservative MP. What's your advice to other members of the Cabinet if they believe in Brexit? Should they follow David Davis?
Well, my advice is that they should return to the Prime Minister and say this Chequers statement isn't working very well, that we need a new policy. And there are only two options from here, given the time constraints and the attitude of the European Union. There's the option of a comprehensive free trade agreement, which I think the EU should want. And so I think we should table that now and see if they want it, or there's leaving under WTO rules where we don't need the EU's agreement, where we save all the money. Those are the two options, and the Cabinet needs to sit down and recognise that reality.
They're not a compromise, though, are they? I mean, both of them would fall under the heading of hard Brexit.
There's no such thing as hard Brexit. There's Brexit. We leave. We said we were leaving the customs union and the single market.
It's not compromising. You don't think the Prime Minister had the task of trying to compromise both with the European 27, but also with the half the country who don't favour leaving the European Union?
Well, I support all those things the Prime Minister has rightly said over the last 2 years, that we are leaving the single market and the customs union, and I've been a loyal supporter, and I voted with her.
Aren't you,
no, on 3 times. No. Tell your audience, Adam, that on 3 times the House of Commons has had a big vote on whether we leave the single market and customs union or not, and on 3 occasions we, the Conservatives, have all voted together with 1 or 2 exceptions and had an overwhelming majority because Labour did not vote against officially.
Now, Mrs May, however, says that we will be leaving the customs union. And
yes, that's great.
And we will be leaving the single market.
And I support that.
That's where, but that's what she says in the statement of the Chequers statement.
There's much in the Chequers statement.
So you support the Chequers statement, then?
I agree with practically all the principles in the Chequers statement. The problem with the Chequers statement is there is ambiguity or contradiction over the powers of the European Court, the continuation of freedom of movement and so forth. So I and my colleagues support all the big principles on those issues which she stated again, as we have done for the last 2 years. And we're kindly advising her that the officials are dragging it away from that and are saying that we need to make concessions on freedom of movement, we need to allow the ECJ to have a lot of influence, we need to import a whole load of European law which we can't change, and that is not what the principles say.
So you are a minority within your own party, undermining the Prime Minister's position, aren't you?
No, not at all. I think we are the majority. We're certainly the majority in the country. We're the majority in the party in the country.
Where's your evidence of that?
The emails and the letters are pouring in. The latest opinion polls show this very clearly. People believe we need to implement the referendum.
Actually back the Prime Minister's deal.
I don't think you'll find the latest polls show that. They show Conservatives losing support on the Chequers statement, and a lot of people writing in saying, we liked what the Prime Minister said at Lancaster House, we liked the way the EU withdrawal bill has now become an Act of Parliament, and we need to get on with proper Brexit.
If this brings down the Prime Minister because of the undermining of her authority, will you care?
I don't think this is about the Prime Minister and her job. I don't know that a large number of people want to get rid of her. I'm not campaigning to get rid of the Prime Minister. I wish her every success, and I'm just giving her good, consistent advice that there are only 2 options left. Both of them are perfectly good futures for the United Kingdom. The Chequers statement is full of contradictions, and I don't think the EU will buy it in that form anyway, and so it won't be us vetoing it. It will be the EU saying that unless you actually give way on freedom of movement and budget contributions, you can't be part of that customs arrangement.
And if she doesn't do what you want, will you write asking for a vote of confidence in the Prime Minister?
No, I will continue to campaign very strongly for the policies we want and the British public voted for.
That's not an answer to the question, as you know. Would you write asking for a vote of confidence in the Prime Minister?
I'm telling you, I'm not writing. For one, I am pressing the Prime Minister. I've been very loyal supporter of the Prime Minister throughout her time as Prime Minister. We've been voting together. Her principles in the statement from Chequers are excellent, and I'm trying to give her help on how to implement them.
You haven't already written?
I have not written a letter, no. This is a silly question.
Well, I don't know. That was a clear answer. Thank you all very much indeed for joining us.